the McAuley Learning Collaborative journey started in 2021, along with everyone else in this group. However, we took a slightly different approach in our introduction to staff. We didn't formally introduce the Learning Collaborative work until midway through 2021. This was because we were working on our behaviour management, positive education, and building relationships. So we've worked hard to build a base, and we talk about our base being that of mission and relationships, behaviour management and wellbeing, ready to embark on this next phase of that journey being learning. So the timing of getting involved with Lynn Sharrett's Learning Collaborative was really perfect. So you can see from our journey map that we started our immersion into clarity with a soft opening, we'll call it, with our literacy coach, Lena, working within the English KLA with Year 7. And then that broadened out to the HSIE and RE KLAs in Term 2.
On Monday the 26th of July 2021, McAuley Catholic College staff engaged in professional development in the area of learning and teaching with a focus on literacy. Staff selected parameter number 3, quality assessment that informs instruction, to be the focus for 2022.
Lena, our literacy coach, created a data wall for learning progressions, and what was interesting was putting faces to the names, and we saw potential in the English faculty to create one for grades, which would allow us to know our classes and to moderate our assessments.
You can see from our 2022 journey map that we have progressed now from learning intentions and success criteria to bump it up walls, to the introduction of assessment waterfall chart, the gradual release of responsibility model, and learning walks and talks.
This is the learning intention for all staff at the moment as we focus on quality assessment, and we want to see that reflected in effective practices.
In our second staff development day for 2022, we looked at the assessment waterfall chart. There were a range of staff that utilised the samples that were modelled, and they have greater confidence now in using the directive term highlighted. With our principal leading the way with Bump It Up walls, staff have used this as inspiration to create a number of Bump It Up walls in their own classroom.
Does that help you understand how you need to move now? When you get your sample, you can have a look at this and see what you need to do in order to move up. Does that help a little bit? Yeah, great.
In a secondary setting, we're trying to look at different ways that we can implement Bump It Up walls.
Small groups, we looked at the Bump It Up World Peace document and came up in our groups with what we thought originally pushed a D range response to a C range response. So if you look at the Bump It Up PDF with the annotations, you can see what as a class we decided made the D response there.
There is very clear differentiation between each one, and then if you read the A range, you can clearly see what you need compared to a B range, for example.
Did you get to reflect on what you had completed and what you might need to do to make yours bump up?
Yes, we did. We got to look at our own responses and identify where they would be, but also what could be added to bump them into the next range.
Ensuring learning intentions and success criteria are utilised in every classroom has been one of the main focus areas for 2022. Prior to the second staff development day, we ascertained what our staff needs were by looking at school-wide data. Then, during the day, we modelled examples and gave time for KLAs to work collaboratively to embed learning intentions and success criteria into units of work. Learning intentions and success criteria are now one of the main focus areas for our learning walks and talks.
We've started learning walks and talks. These have been scheduled every day, and we began just with the college executive and the learning collaborative team. We've extended this to bring in other staff, our leaders of learning and our pastoral coordinator.
Well, we're learning to find techniques in poetry and then use them to make our own poems and that.
We're learning how to use techniques in poetry and how to add things to it and explain about the things that we've added and how it fits into the general poetry.
We've captured data through a Google form, and we've used this to see how we're going with the assessment waterfall chart. We can already see the impact of our improved and consistent use of learning intentions and success criteria.
Some impacts that I certainly have noticed and the school has noticed is the common language that we now have, the shared understanding of the essential elements of effective learning.